Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first module of the What is Entrepreneurship course. In this module, we're giving an introduction to entrepreneurship. I am your instructor, Dr. J. And the learning objectives of this course, we're going to examine the challenges associated with defining entrepreneurship, discuss the concepts of entrepreneurial uniqueness, personal traits, and of course, the elements of entrepreneurship. So a little overview, what to discuss is, of course, defining entrepreneurship, which is a definition that has a term that has many definitions interpreted differently by people, but we'll go by a certain definition of entrepreneurship, with traits of entrepreneurship ventures and the characteristics of entrepreneurs. So, what is entrepreneurship? When you ask individuals, what is entrepreneurship? If I walk into a room of 100 individuals who want to build their own startup company or looking for funding for their startup venture, right, and ask them what is entrepreneurship, almost 100 of those individuals, almost all of them are going to have their own definition. No one's going to have a unison definition of entrepreneurship. Everybody almost defines entrepreneurship in their own ways, right? Some of the definitions of entrepreneurship has been, entrepreneurship is the art of turning an idea into a business, creating value where there was none, creating a new business in the face of risk and uncertainty, right? Others define entrepreneurship as, making riches or, being your own boss, starting your own thing, And so again, entrepreneurship is really, really in essence, creating value where there was none, and of course, turning an idea into a business. And you do face risk and uncertainty when you're in entrepreneurship, but you're basically creating value where there was no before, right? You're putting value into something that somebody will buy or purchase from you. So you're creating value. That's what you basically are. In entrepreneurship, you're creating value that people will buy from, right? And you're creating a system where it will continuously run without you being there. And that's a main thing about entrepreneurship that separates it from, the hustler or the one person consultant show, right? Because in entrepreneurship, because you've created value, right, and you've turned an idea into a business, you've created a system in place where you don't need to be there all the time for it to run, right? Let's look at, for example, Bill Gates. Right? When he started Microsoft with his buddies, with a couple of other people, they created a system where if Bill Gates leaves, which he did leave, when he left, right, Microsoft still runs. And that's the main thing about entrepreneurship, right? In entrepreneurship, you create a system where you can leave and it'll run. Now, will it run the same as when you were in it? That's up for debate. It could be even better or it could fail. So that's a whole different debate. But you create a system where it's going to continuously run and it must innovate and improve in order for it to continue. Right? So there's a lot of considerations that define entrepreneurship, and there's a couple of questions that you need to ask yourself. When we're talking about defining entrepreneurship, does someone need to start a business from scratch to be called an entrepreneur? Right? Can we call someone an entrepreneur if they bought an ongoing business from someone else or took over the operations of a family business from their parents? If someone starts a small business and never needs to hire employees, can that person be called an entrepreneur? Is someone an entrepreneur if they buy into a franchise so they can follow a well-established formula for running the operation? Is someone an entrepreneur because of what they do or because of how they think? These questions, right, help shape entrepreneurship, and as to why it is difficult to define entrepreneurship. That's why when you type in entrepreneurship in Google or Bing, or you look up books, right, people have all these different definitions of entrepreneurship and then you have all these people calling themselves entrepreneurs just because maybe they have a one person show, or they have a mom and pop, or they took over a business, or they bought into a franchise and they call themselves entrepreneur. And the question is, do you call that person an entrepreneur, or is that entrepreneurship?